Hey y'all, Regina of buyregina.com here with a special guest today.
Hi, Lemuel from lemuel.co.
Yes, he's my brother. And the reason he's here for our hashtag Go Independent interview of the day is because we actually get the super duper honor of interviewing our nephew, Martin Egwuagu. So, you guys, here's the deal. We're about to talk to our nephew. He's a successful personal trainer here in Austin. But before we talk to him, of course, it's time for the corny joke of the day.
Whoa!
Are you ready? If you know the answer, you can't answer, okay? All right, you guys. Why was the baby strawberry crying? Baby strawberry crying. Why? Do you want to guess? Do you already know the answer?
I know the answer.
Because his mom and dad were in a jam.
Oh, shoot! That's my jam!
His mom and dad were in a jam.
Gosh.
The baby strawberry.
Oh, wow.
Funny, right? Okay.
Gosh.
Anyway, y'all, let's go meet up with Martin of Nedu Fitness. All right, so as I said, we are here with none other than our nephew today to talk about the business that he has been running for several years now. So, if you will, just introduce yourself and kind of tell us about what you do.
Absolutely. My name is Martin Egwuagu Jr. Nedu is short for Chinedu, so everyone calls me Nedu. I'm actually a personal trainer and online entrepreneur and a Nike trainer as well.
Awesome. Okay, and so just so we can kind of understand what your business consists of, tell us, what does the majority of your income come from right now?
Absolutely, yeah. So the name of my company is Nedu Fitness. We service the local Austin area in personal training. So the majority of my income comes from personal training. I do boot camps, online fitness coaching as well, and I also work with Nike in partnership with UT to teach Nike training club classes, so live workouts.
So, Martin, actually, dive a little bit more into Nike and your partnership with them.
Yeah. So my partnership with Nike actually started, I want to say, it's been close to 5 years now. Nike reached out to the University of Texas and they knew some trainers that worked in the Austin area and wanted to promote Nike Training Club, this amazing app. And so I was fortunate and blessed to be able to work with the company in promoting the app and making Austin the #1 place for Nike Training Club. So it's been incredible. Now I work with Nike women's and Nike men's training as well in helping to curate content for a lot of the Nike consumers.
Tell us a little bit about this commercial, this Nike commercial that we get to see our nephew in.
I heard you were a star.
So yeah, I was flown out to Nike World Headquarters to do a commercial for the launch of Nike Training Club Hub. So I belong to a elite network of trainers, 24 of us from around the U.S., actually in the world, and we help Nike promote Nike men's training. And so the cool thing is Nike's really reaching out on the digital side to the consumers, right? So I go on Twitter and answer questions for Nike, like how do you get faster, how do you get stronger? And I'm the guy behind the scene entries of those questions.
So epic.
Just to reemphasize, you're one of 24 Nike trainers.
That's right.
Okay,
Could do
awesome.
that. Yeah.
So let's dive a little bit about your motivations. Let's talk about that. Why did you want to work for yourself, and what took you down that path?
That's a great question. I think a lot of people have different emotions during that time. For me, it was an experience. Right? I get back from a missions trip. I'm in Nigeria. I was there for 10 days. And
What year was this?
this was 2008. 2008, yeah. And
7 years ago.
yeah, about 7 years ago. And I actually had already been in personal training prior to that,
Okay.
but didn't go independent.
Gotcha.
So, at the missions trip, there was one instance that really, I think, impacted my life, right? I asked the kid, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And this is midnight, we're in the jungle somewhere, and the kid says to me, exactly like this, I want to become a medical doctor. He told me the reason why he wanted to become a medical doctor was to help his family out. And so, for me, it was kind of a moment in my life to where I was doing a lot of things just to make a buck. Right? I think we all do that at some point in our life. We're not doing it right now, but we're doing it soon. And it occurred to me that you can actually do something for the good of other people as opposed to just doing it just to make a lot of money. And so, a lot of times in the U.S., it's kind of thinking, right? You pick a career that makes a lot of money and hopefully you'll be happy. For the first time, I actually heard a child with such wisdom at a young age, I want to be something so that I can come back to help my family and be changed. And so for me, it was like, wait a minute, I can do something. Actually, I can also do what I love doing and help other people. And that adds more value to this world.
So is that kind of your favorite part of being independent, would you say?
Yeah, I think, there's two parts.
Okay.
So one of my favorite parts is actually helping individuals with things I'm passionate about doing. But another one is, really the time freedom to have with my wife. So I just got married a year ago.
Congratulations.
We love our
Ladies,
dreams.
control yourself. He's married. Stop
My beautiful, hot wife, Joanna. So we met about 2 years ago. It was like 2013. And she's an entrepreneur as well. But I get to spend time with my wife, right? I get Fridays and Saturdays off and Sundays off. And I bust my butt in my business, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So.
And just side note, what is it like being married to somebody else who's an entrepreneur? Do you find this supportive network, somebody who gets the hustle?
Yeah. And I think that's really important. Like whatever you choose to do in life, make sure your partner is in line with it because, there are times when I've thought about picking a different career, right? Because money may not be coming in as much, but she comes from the same mindset. Like as an entrepreneur or an independent, you have to keep pushing, right? When it gets hard, you press in, and that's where success lies.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go back to when you were working in my notes here. I see you were working at CarMax. Right?
Yeah.
This is when you were deciding to make this jump. Was it very well planned out? Did you have a business plan? Was it a 5-10-year plan? Or was it just kind of like, boom, I'm a personal trainer, y'all. Train stuff, lift it, run, pump,
Just do it. So that was actually my slogan, just do it. So I was a fan of Nike even before I started partnering with Nike to curate content. But I didn't really have a plan, right? I didn't go to business school. I went to school and studied kinesiology. So I understand how the body moves. And so I think that was probably one of the fears is not having a business degree because in the world I'm thinking you got to understand how business goes in order to be a business person and do independent stuff, with your career. But I think just taking a step, right? Getting certified. And once I got certified, I had to worry about the next step instead of worrying about the big picture, which can consume you. I still don't know the big picture, but every day something's being revealed to me. So I didn't have a big plan. All I did was just start off as a personal trainer, get certified, and then I, asked myself the next question: what's the next step? So,
what certifications do you have right now?
Yeah. So currently, right now, I have a National Collegiate Strength and Conditioning Association certification. I specialize, so I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist. I actually volunteered as a strength coach at UT because I thought that's the area I wanted to be in.
Was that after you played football there?
Yeah. So I walked on to UT in 2007, and after playing, I thought I wanted to become a strength coach.
Okay.
But I realized quickly that I prefer to be a personal trainer. Job security, how about that? Once the head coach is gone, everyone's gone. But so I'm a strength and conditioning specialist, and then I'm also a Viper certified trainer. So Viper's a piece of equipment that we use to train. So.
Okay, so it's not a snake.
Yeah.
Or you're fast enough. No, you're not big. You're not fast enough. Okay.
Certified hand snakes.
That is awesome. So for a lot of us, I know you're kind of your brand. Regina knows your brand, of course. You work with us in training. If you can tell, boom, yeah. Okay.
Gosh.
Anyways, gun show over. But for other people who aren't familiar with your brand, what are a couple blog posts that you think are emblematic
Absolutely.
of who Native Trainer is?
Yeah. So I think to kind of encapsulate everything is, Native Fitness is here to make fitness last a lifetime. It's for entrepreneurs between ages of 18 to 35, maybe live busy lives, and don't know how to create a lifestyle fitness. I think a lot of times we get so ingrained in our work that we forget to take care of our bodies. Really, you only have one body to live, right? It's a quote goes, so make it worth a while. So I'd say first off, my 25 ways to make fitness last a lifetime is like my flagship blog post that everyone should read, and it shows you practical ways you can apply into your life how to create a lifestyle of fitness and create habits or healthy habits. Number 2, I'd say would be 7 ways to make time for fitness. I know we live busy lives. Everyone does get in line, right? But I want to show people that you can actually make time for fitness. What's important to you is what you make time for. And so, as a personal trainer, as a coach, entrepreneur, I live a busy life also. So I have to actually purposely make time for me to work out and to live a healthy lifestyle. Otherwise, I start sipping on lattes and every caffeinated drink there is. There's other ways, guys.
Yeah.
Be that person.
Okay. So, hugest challenge. This was Regina's word. Hugest. Biggest challenge.
Hugest challenge since going full time.
Yeah. No, hugest challenge in going full time. That's
Okay.
the next question, Regina.
Okay.
We have a plan.
So repeat the question again?
Yes.
What is your hugest challenge
Biggest challenge.
in going full time, or what have you seen to be the hugest?
Hugest challenge, I think, is myself, right? The fear of the unknown. I think there's a lot of fear when you don't really know what to expect in business. You don't have a business degree, and so you already think that you're not worthy enough, or you don't have, the brains to create a business. And so I really think it was getting around people who were like-minded, who I could be motivated by, and reading books. Books put me in a different mind frame to show me that, hey, it is possible. You don't have to have a degree in business to create this lifestyle. But
Time out. Okay. You mentioned books.
Yeah.
Top of your mind. Was one book about that lifestyle change from working for someone to going full time for yourself?
Yeah. So for myself, I would say The Legend of the Monk and the Merchant by Terry Felber, I believe.
Okay.
That book, it's interesting. At the point in my life where I made the transition, I was actually doing ministry on campus at UT. And so I thought, I was going to go to seminary school and become a pastor. And that book showed me that I can serve God. It doesn't have to be in a church building, but I can also do that in my work, right? In the marketplace and things that I love doing. So personal training became that way for me to serve God, right? It's something I'm passionate about doing, and I can help people live better lives, and that's been my way to do that, to serve God.
Okay. Awesome. So that was one of the keys that kind of helped you overcome the unknowns. Was there anything else that helped you really get over that?
Yeah, I listen to podcasts, I read a ton of books, and I also meet with individuals that are like-minded, like these two right here. And talking with people who can encourage you and motivate you. My wife, who's an entrepreneur, that's the only way you can have success. You got to do life with people who can encourage you during times when you don't think you can make it. So.
And it's kind of convenient that your mom started a successful business,
right.
your grandfather's in business, both of your sisters are in business, and your younger brother is also in business. So that kind of helps a little bit. But
entrepreneurial blood. Okay.
So now, since you've made the transition to full-time, and you've been able to have those amazing months where you look back and you're like, I made a full-time income with just my passion and what I'm excited about and what I love to give to people. What's challenging now, even after you've established yourself and have been doing it for 7 years or 8 years?
I think the thing that's been the most challenging is staying focused. Being able to say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do that until I get there. Because you start comparing your business to other people, and you get into that rat race of never doing enough. It's just good to a degree, but I think to a point where I got so distracted. And I was reading blog posts from every person in the fitness industry, and then I wanted to replicate what they were doing because they were where I wanted to be. But really, I need to focus on my strengths, not necessarily my weaknesses. And that's what I have to add to this world is that value. And so I think whenever I started focusing on, whether it's just personal training, build it out, then boot camps, and start adding different streams of income as opposed to let's focus on 5 streams of income and don't master any. That's not the way to do things. You find yourself pushing yourself back.
Now, Martin, in the pre-show, we were talking about kind of like you had some hard months.
Yeah.
And you had some times where you had to make hey, do I just hang up the personal training gloves or do I keep on going? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, it's tough, right? Because I think that's when you really start to face, your why. Why are you even doing this? I really had to check myself, really. I had times where I would cry. I had times where I would complain, where I would get angry, and when I would celebrate. And I think there's this big misconception that, as an entrepreneur, it's kind of romanticized, right? That, everyone wants to put that on their badge, entrepreneur, but it's really tough, right? It's not for everyone. Get a job and just work 9 to 5 every time, but I had to really sit down and, with conviction, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm sticking with this. I'm not turning back. And so I think, having people there to kind of remind me of those commitments and not to give up because I could have easily given up. There were times when I wasn't even making a tenth of what I needed to pay bills. And you really start to question what you're doing. And it's funny, when I look back, I see the reason why I was doing this was something greater than me. And so, have that conviction.
So let's take another time.
Yeah.
What is a concrete step that our listeners can do? And I know this will help with either making the decision to go full-time or making the decision to continue being full-time. So what is a concrete step that you can kind of share with everybody?
Yeah. Before setting off on anything, right? There's so much literature about setting goals. And we always set tons of goals. Yes, set your goals up, but I think what's really important is you map it out, right? I want to learn Spanish. I want to go to Spain. I want to write a book. I want to create an ebook. I want to create a podcast. And all of these goals, but we never really sit down to see how much time commitment it takes. And that's the thing, I didn't realize, until I got in. It's like, this is a full-time commitment, right? I'm not just going independent and then doing 4 other jobs in hopes that this goes well, but I think actually writing down your goals, and that's something that I did. I have a moleskin from 7 years ago.
Amazon affiliate link as well.
Moleskine, you gotta get one. And it shows my goals. And I remember, I'm just writing these down, like, I hope nobody reads this. This is a big, hairy, audacious dreams that I'm writing down. And the funny thing is, when I look back now, I've accomplished the majority of those and more. So there was something crazy in me, I think, at that time where I believed that I could possibly do this. And having that reminder, it's like, man, you dare to dream big. Keep doing that. Don't ever lose that. That's the first step. So write your goals down, your dreams.
And was that like what you shared before we started, that 4 months ago, between then and now, your income has doubled?
Yeah.
What was the switch there?
So for me, I think the switch was I read a book called The One Thing.
The One Thing.
Gary Keller, Amazon affiliate link below.
It's not below.
It's not.
It can be below.
Maybe we will put it below.
Show notes. It's
So,
show notes.
Read books, to kind of put me in a different mind frame, continue to learn. And I realized that I was focusing on too many different things, and really it's one thing. And the question he poses in there is, what's the one thing you can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easy or necessary to do? And you put that in the frame of finances, relationships, career goals, you stop trying to become an astronaut and NBA basketball player pretty quick, right? And I think for me, after I read that book, something changed inside of me. It's like, what am I doing? And that's what I love about the power of literature and books, because there's pieces of information that can be the difference from you doing what you're doing now to being where you want to be. So continue to read.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
Tell us two things.
Yeah.
How you organize your days and weeks, and what tools you use to make it simpler, because you're on the go.
Yeah.
You're doing Nike trainings, you're doing trainings at a gym, you're moving around. How do you do it?
Yeah, so some of my favorite tools, of course, are Google Drive. I have the app. So I upload my workouts to clients, and they always have access, right? We don't use paper. We use paper. I don't have paper here, but it's just I use Google Drive. I use Evernote to keep all my documents to save and to continually update them and share them with my clients so I can stay in contact with them. For finances, we're kind of going over different categories.
Yeah.
So for finances, I use an app called BillGuard. You gotta get this. So it helps me keep track of all my bills, personal and business finances, and I know when they're coming out, how much is coming out. So it's just one less thing I have to worry about.
Okay.
And as an independent, there's so many pieces that you worry about. It's good to automate, right? Automation is the best.
For sure.
So I use that. Another thing I use, I could just bring up my phone. I don't have my phone, but music is something I've used to kind of stay motivated.
Okay.
So I use apps like Spotify, Fit Radio, kind of filter out the profanity from music. I use that to motivate myself. So I'm working out during the day, or when I'm studying or working on paperwork. That's something I use.
Do you turn on playlists for clients?
Yeah. I share them with clients also. So
that's awesome.
Something I love doing and enjoy doing.
Gotcha.
So many apps that are out there.
In my notes, I see we discussed Trainerize.
Yeah, that's a good one. So for my online coaching clients, I use an app called Trainerize, and so I can kind of upload the workouts and put videos from me on YouTube.
Nice.
Of the workouts, and then I see if they've completed the workout or haven't, and I can send them a text message in the app. So that's pretty cool. I get to stay in contact with people.
Yeah.
Have clients in Hawaii, in different states, but that's the fun part. I can train with anyone.
So what are some of the best platforms you found to promote your business, and where do most of your customers come from?
I found that some of the best platforms to promote my business, obviously Facebook, but also Twitter and Instagram. Actually, the bulk of my clients actually come from Twitter and Facebook, I would say. Just from, associates, like, hey, I saw you tweet something about someone working out, how much do you charge, for workouts and stuff like that. So I've actually, when I first started, I was picking up tons of clients from Twitter. And so I just started looking at the network of friends and following them and posting stuff on there. So.
Okay. So you did a little Twitter research in essence.
Yeah.
So then what's the Facebook strategy?
So the Facebook, right now, it's not necessarily, so because Facebook is constantly changing, the fan page was like, post everything related to my business. Not now, right? Because I think currently Facebook, your reach is like 33%, if less than that. And so you can have 2,000 people as fans on your fan page, but barely anybody sees it. So instead now, I've created a group.
A Facebook group.
A Facebook group. And so instead of getting people that actually like, so when you hit the like button on a fan page, it doesn't really tell you anything about your customer. It's just that they thought that was cool. But those aren't the people you want to market to. So in the Facebook group page, the people that join or are part of that, they're a continual group, right? They're interacting with me and posting stuff, and they all see it on their feeds. We have about 50 people in the group right now, and it's growing. And so now I know when I post something, it's going to reach more people as opposed to the fan page.
And more motivated people.
Yeah, more motivated people.
Like
Right.
qualified prospects.
Yeah, exactly. Qualified prospects. And so I think that's the way to go if you're going to be on Facebook. Create a group, and then also you have the proof of concept, right? And so if you're going to do, for me, it was like online coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just spend tons of money building a website, which I've done, But use the proof of concept first to find out if your idea of online coaching works or the product or whatever works in the group because it's free. We like free, right? It's free. And then if that works, then you have, the group of people that you're going to be marketing to. So
I like that a lot. Okay. So when you are taking on customers, I forgot to ask you this earlier with tools. When you're taking on customers and actually just doing transactions back and forth, are you using a specific payment system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention I use PayPal. I love PayPal. In the fitness industry, there's other ones like MindBody Online, so pretty much every gym uses that. But as an independent by myself, I find PayPal to be the most effective one for my clients. And
so you can set up like invoices, but you can also set up recurring payments with PayPal, which is
awesome.
great for a trainer.
Yes.
Right?
That's the way you want to go.
Yeah.
No longer packages. So I think that's a big transition as well.
Okay.
When we had talked about 4 months ago,
Yeah.
was instead of charging in packages, I do 3 months, 6 month, or 1 year contracts. So it makes it easier to pay bills when you know how much money's coming in 3 months.
That's true. That's true. So we have one last question for you, but before we get there, can you kind of preview this really cool thing that you're doing with my favorite person in the world and most favorite comedian?
Yes. So number one comedian in the world, Kevin Hart. He's actually really passionate about fitness. So follow him on Twitter. I think it's the real Kevin Hart or Kevin Hart for real. You gotta look it up. But he's actually doing this 5K. It's this movement where it's called Run with Heart. So if you're passionate about fitness, getting in shape and staying in shape and living a lifestyle of fitness, so he's partnered with Nike, and I'm also working with Nike to help promote this. I'm co-emceeing his event in Dallas and Houston, Texas this weekend.
Wow.
Over 1,500 people there, about 750 runners. So I'm excited to be able to be there and be a part of this event. And,
Awesome.
just kind of shows stick to what you're passionate about. You never know where it'll go.
So entrepreneurship has brought you a lot of crazy opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. If I never took the, not necessarily jump, if I didn't take a step, I wouldn't have experienced a lot in my life. And I'm having a blast, guys.
Last question?
Last question. So, how meaningful is it that you work for yourself now? Because, well, let me back up. A lot of people listening right now are kind of either still out of a job and they're making the transition, and they might need a little extra, encouragement to get over that hump. So, how meaningful is it that you're working for yourself right now? And if there's someone else out there who's wavering in their, decision, what can you tell them to encourage them?
It's everything for me, working for myself. For us, talking with my wife, the vision we had for our life was leaving a legacy for our family. And we didn't want, working for someone to be the thing that we rely on, because it doesn't go too far. There's always a cap, right? How many hours can you work and still make the same amount per hour? So there's this cap. The possibilities open up when you go independent. And so if you're in a place right now where you have a steady job, I don't want you to think about just the immediate gratification. I was told once that we must sacrifice who we are now for who we might become later in the future. And what that looks like is necessarily stepping into a place where it might be fearful, right? Is going in this uncomfortable zone and actually taking a step in the direction to creating your own business, creating the life that you wanted for your family so that you can leave a legacy that goes beyond you. And that's been the driving force, I think, for my wife and I, is the legacy we want to leave, right? When we create a business, it's something that's going to stand even when we're gone. You look at the Rockefellers, you look at Gerber, you look at all these Ford, right? These companies that were started, and it started with somebody choosing to work for themselves, right? And so I want to challenge you to think past yourself, beyond yourself, 3 or 4 generations. And I know right now it may seem kind of intimidating, but that's the seeds of greatness. That's the seeds to a legacy. It's one person just deciding now to take a step. and you have generations that are going to benefit from that. And so if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave it at legacy, guys.
Like I said,
Hashtag.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you.
here
Thank you.
with Lemuel and myself and
Yeah,
just
thank
talking
you.
with us. All right, bye y'all.
Till next time, catch you on the flip. Hashtag epic.
Bye.